Job numbers: 147,000 jobs were added to the U.S. workforce, with an unemployment rate dipping slightly to 4.1%, both figures defying expectations. This is a nearly 6% increase from May, where 139,000 jobs were added. Let's bring in Taylor Riggs, co-host of the Big Money Show on Fox Business. Great to see you, Taylor. Thanks for joining us on Independence Day.
Happy 4th.
So break the numbers down for us.
Yeah, you know what? Actually, a really good report on the headline number, defying expectations. Even the whisper number on the street, we were thinking, oh my gosh, you get 100,000, maybe 110,000, and you're pretty much blowing it out of the water with 147,000. So you've heard a lot of people from the White House come out and say now for the 5th, 6th month in a row, we are beating expectations. And under the details, look, there's some positives, some negatives, but here's the positives. Job openings relative to those seeking unemployment, 1.12 ratio. There are jobs out there if people want to work. Foreign-born workers are losing jobs. Native-born workers are gaining jobs. That further speaks to what the president has really been advocating for, of getting our own citizens really back to work. So there were certainly some good numbers here.
So they're so good that even like CNN is having to acknowledge that they're good numbers. Watch this.
This jobs market is like the Energizer Bunny. Every single time we expect it to run out of steam, it just keeps going and going. So these new numbers show that the U.S. economy added 147,000 jobs in June. That was well ahead of the expectation of about 118,000, well ahead of some whispers that we heard on Wall Street of a sub 100,000 number. So this is indeed beating expectations.
All the doom and gloom predictions keep getting crushed.
I know, they do. Well, and look, this is an economy, and I give it to him, has defied expectations. Yeah. It's a consumer-driven economy, and here's the good news. Real wages are growing, which means wages after inflation. You're up 0.2% month over month, 3.7% year over year. So if my wage is up 3.7% and inflation is 2%, I'm taking home a pay raise. That's the sort of strength that you start to see in these numbers, and that's really what President Trump promised on this blue-collar boom. After inflation, am I actually getting more money or less in my pocket?
Well, meanwhile, Democrats are stuck making their arguments, and many of their arguments are not only, I think, weak, but also flatly not true. Listen to what Democrats are saying about the distortions of regarding Medicaid in the big, beautiful bill.
People will die as a result of the Republican assault on the health care of the American people.
This bill hands $4.5 trillion in tax cuts to billionaires and the biggest corporations. People will die.
People will suffer. People will die. And it will be at the hands of Republicans who vote yes. The top 1% are salivating over getting an extra $300,000 a year because of this dangerous bill. Billionaires win.
That's the best they have.
2 quick points. 20 hours a week in proven work requirements, less than a 1996 that Democrat Bill Clinton signed into law by a Republican Congress. So this is less strict in terms of work requirements than we had in 1996 under a Democrat president. Second quick anecdote. Walking out of my building a couple hours ago, lovely man who was helping me get out and get here. I said, oh, you know, it's 4th of July. How is it hard to work? And he said, no tax on overtime.
Wow.
Thrilled to be here. This is not a billionaire who's getting a tax break, who's thrilled. This is a working class black man who is thrilled to be here and watched that vote yesterday to make sure that his overtime and his tips were no longer going to be taxed in the middle of New York City.
Such a great story. And you're such a great reporter.
Oh, thank you.
Taylor Riggs, thank you.